Hello and welcome to another video from TheSavageTrout on YouTube, and it is episode 22 of my FIFA 15 Burnley career mode against Crystal Palace. In this episode, the team at bottom of the table. You would think this would be an easy game, but a lot of stuff has happened since the last episode, to be fair. As you can see, we're up to the January the 17th. Basically, we played Ipswich in the FA Cup. I simmed the game. Kind of hoped I'd go through easily, but as you can see we ended up drawing 2-2, which means we've got a replay against them, which I will probably play and record and upload. We also had a bit of a centre-back crisis. Michael Keane got injured in that game. We sold Kevin Long, so we've had to draft in Reed, who is usually a right-back, into the centre-back position. Also, as you can see, Bentaleb and Jerome, I've brought them in. Bentaleb on loan. I wasn't planning on bringing him in, but I was just looking at central midfielders and I was quite surprised that he was on the loan list, but he was put there, so I thought I might as well go in for him. Jerome, 4 million for him. He scored 30 goals for me in the Championship with Norwich on my Norwich career mode. Hasn't quite delivered in the Premier League as much as I would have liked, but hopefully he can replicate his form in the Championship here. Also, Marvin Sordell back from injury. He's starting on the bench in this game. Might bring him on later on. Obviously, he was the main guy at the start of the season, getting all the goals for me. Sam Vokes has been transfer listed. I'll never forget his equalizer against West Brom, but I mean, I've just got too many strikers now. I mean, 6 strikers is really way too much. I had to get rid of one of them. Don't know how much of a run out Ashley Barnes will get now that Sordell's back, but obviously there's always a chance of injuries. Jutskovic, our main goal scorer recently, is also only on the bench for this game. And as you can see, it is also snowing. But anyway, you'd think this is going to be an easy game, but the snow will certainly make it interesting. We do kind of need a win, I'd think, really, because well, here's Bentaleb before I get into the specifics, because he's actually found Ings pretty well here, and this is a good start. And we've done the fake shot, and this is well worked, but now we've lost out, and here's a counter-attack. And oh dear, Campbell is going to be a nuisance in this game, I think. This poor pass from him there, and that's just about gone out for a throw. Yeah, sorry for a lack of videos again recently. I said that in the last episode, but I've been in London on Thursday and I've been playing Football Manager a bit. I'll say I got bored of it, but I got frustrated as it really is. Jerome goes for a speculative effort, but I've seen him score from there before. But Jerome just has everything. He has the height, the pace, the power, everything you really need in a striker on this game at least. I'm not quite sure in real life. He has scored quite a few for Norwich in real life though. Here comes Boyd. It's a good ball into the box. Kitely tries to win it. We've been relatively dominant in the early stages, which we'd kind of expect considering Crystal Palace are bottom of the league. Not sure how many wins they've had, but they're only on 11 points, which is the record for the lowest point score, I believe. So if they were to not get any points from now till the end of the season, they would join that list. As I think he was offside there. Yes, he was. Maybe we've got to start doing better in the final third, but I guess it is only 11 minutes. But you'd think this is going to be an easy game. I think we do kind of need a win here. We haven't had a win in quite well. We had that win against Liverpool, but we've kind of had a lack of wins recently. As we tried to find Kitely there, couldn't quite. He wins it back though, and he's clipped it into Danny Ings. Is he onside? Yes, he is. 1-0. May have been offside though. I think it might be pulled back. The goal hasn't appeared yet, which is a bit frustrating because it looked like it was okay at first.
What did you make of it, Alan?
So, yeah, the fan can't believe it. Yeah, he's offside. Looked like it to me, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, we haven't had too many wins recently apart from that Liverpool game. So it would be nice to get another one here, especially against a team you would expect to beat, considering their league position at the moment. And especially considering our start to this game as well, as here comes Kitely, who's done pretty well there in the end. Slightly messed up. We've still got a throw in. But I mean, we are slightly being... There seems to be a gap forming. We're 5 points above Aston Villa in 17th. So if we were to win this game and Villa lost again, then we'd have an 8-point advantage, which is quite a healthy gap, but also 3 points behind 16th. So we have to try and get back level to kind of those guys if we want to go any higher than 17th. I mean, 17th at the start of the season, I would have taken it with open arms, really. But our kind of that run of form that we went on has given me hope that we could maybe go higher than 17th. We'll see now, though, as that's not a bad effort from Chamak, I think it was. As that's actually a corner. Not quite sure who my next game is against. It's probably against Ipswich in the FA Cup. I mean, that's a good catch from Heaton there. But I mean, I think I'm looking at the FA Cup as kind of the only thing left this season, really. I mean, if we can get good results in the next few games and really distance ourselves from Villa and the other two teams in the relegation zone, we might not have to worry too much about relegation. So I mean, then we can fully focus on trying to go far in the FA Cup, which historically I've done pretty well on in FIFA career modes. It's the competition I've definitely won the most. For some reason I just seem to do really well in it and really badly in the Capital One Cup. As Bentaleb's done very well there, showing great strength. But it is great to have two young, energetic and strong central midfielders now as well. Obviously they're both on loan, but I think we're going to have to go quite heavy in the summer transfer window. But if we can stay up, I've got a feeling we're going to get quite big funds, so I'm not too worried about that as it stands. And then of course there might be other options to go to, as we've got to be careful here, and we've been let off slightly there. Fraser Campbell, I think it was, somehow just carved out a chance. Trippier into Chalobah. Ings into Bentaleb. Clips it over the top. Boyd back to Danny Ings, who's dropped a bit. Chalobah gets a bit of room, and he's found Jerome now, who will latch onto any ball in dangerous positions. It's not a bad ball into the box. He's a Danny Ings, can't get his head on it. I think maybe just trying to walk it into the net a bit too much at the moment. That's a nice play from Palace, though, you have to admit. That's a good interception. Couldn't quite capitalise on it, though. Ben Mee's got a better position there. That was kind of my fault, to be fair, though. Good tackle. Well, it was initially, and we've actually got a free kick out of that, so it's not too bad. Hasn't been the most interesting game. Obviously, we played Crystal Palace earlier in the season when we were kind of looking a bit tentative. Results weren't really going our way. Palace weren't doing great either. They still aren't really. But it was a pretty dull 0-0 draw, if I remember it correctly, and the day was pretty miserable that time as well, and that's a terrible pass. And I'm pretty sure the passing was kind of like that as well, so hopefully we aren't going for a similar result here, especially since I'm at home. Chalobah's done very well there, though, and Jerome could be in. Can't quite get the goal in his Premier League debut there, and that's a bit frustrating. Normally he puts them away for me. It's a great pass from Chalobah there. He just seems to be growing in confidence every game, Chalobah. Might be getting in the Chelsea side at this rate. There's Ledley now pulling away from Reed. Great speed from him, but we've actually recovered there pretty well. Joe Ledley's been probably their best player, one of their best players so far. Jedinak back to Ward, who's in my fantasy football. Fraser Campbell can't give him an inch. Good tackle by Shackle again. Might have to go a bit different in the second half here. We've been relatively comfortable in possession and just kind of defensively, I'd say, but we haven't really created enough in the final third, and when we've got a decent chance, we haven't really capitalised on it. I mean, I don't think the conditions help for that, but still, here's a chance for Ings, maybe too much power on it. Don't know quite what the keeper's thinking there, but we'll take the throw in anyway. Don't know why he's... oh wait, we've got two balls, have we? There we go. Throw to Ben Mee, who's got a bit of room now to whip one in, and he does pretty well actually. Jerome couldn't quite get there. Speroni catches at half time, 0-0. And Aston Villa 0, Liverpool 0. Man City starting to pick up the results now. They're 1-0 up against Arsenal. I think we're going to bring Marvin Sordell on to kind of introduce something different. He hasn't been in the side for a while, so it'll be interesting to see how he does. Pretty evenly matched so far, though. Can we get the winner here? I mean, we drew our last game, well, we've been drawing a lot of games recently. We drew with Newcastle, the league leaders, in our last Premier League game. As Kitely was an injection of pace there. Sadly, couldn't quite get the cross in the end. And obviously we then drew with Ipswich at home 2-2 in the FA Cup. So a lot of draws at the moment, which isn't exactly what we're hoping for in this game. But here's Boyd anyway. Hasn't had much of an influence on the game, to be fair. Here's Marvin Sordell getting his first touch in, well, forever. I can't even remember the game he got injured now. Bentaleb tries to get a bit of room. Sordell latches onto it, and Sordell doing very well, showing his pace. And he's tried to confuse the defenders there, and he almost got past two of them. What an introduction that, or what a return that would have been if he'd scored a wonder goal like that. Boyd can't quite get there. Oh, he's done very well there, though, out-muscling Boyd somehow, and it's come to Jerome now, who's onside. Not the greatest touch, but he has put it in. And Cameron Jerome, in only his second game, gets his first goal for Burnley, and that's why I brought him in. Fantastic work from Boyd. Great pass from Sordell. I thought he'd messed it up, but he hadn't. And that is a big, big goal for Cameron Jerome, and for us as well. Just got to keep it tight defensively now. We haven't kept too many clean sheets this season. We have against Crystal Palace, though, which will give us a bit of confidence. Jerome tried to get away from the defender there, couldn't quite. But that's got to be a morale booster. Got to be careful here now, though. Bolassi's got into a very good position. Chamak, though, poor touch from him, and we've been let off slightly there. Still a corner, though. Chamak's whipping it in, which is quite interesting considering his height, but he puts it in anyway. And Heaton has done very well, and he might actually be able to launch an attack now if we can find Sordell. And that's very, very good play from the two of them. And Sordell couldn't quite get away from the defender, though, sadly. Crystal Palace starting to put some passing together a bit now. Fraser Campbell's got a bit too much room for my liking, but he's messed that up completely, I think. Got to be careful, though. Villa beating Liverpool, that's a big result for them and for us as well. We can't afford to slip up in this game now, is that. Liverpool seem to just be terrible against the worst sides. Well, I say worst sides, we're not a terrible side. Here's Marvin Sordell, as we're trying to prove here, was Marvin Sordell on the ball. And he's done very, very well there, and he's found Boyd back, who's whipped it in. Cameron Jerome, who's usually very good in the air, couldn't quite get his head on that one that time, though. Got to be careful here. We've brought the defenders out a bit too much, I would say. He's actually tried to switch it, but it hasn't really worked at all for them. I think we're going to bring Jutskovic on now. Jerome's got his goal. I think he can come off now with his head held high, as they would say. Jutskovic on then, our top scorer with, I believe, 7 goals, I think it is. Can he get even more in this game? It would pretty much seal the deal if he did. Sordell sadly couldn't quite get away from the defender there. As Ledley's got a bit too much room. As, Reed and me got in each other's, or Trippier, sorry, got in each other's way. Oh dear. And well, that's turned the game on its head once again. We've thrown away the lead like we did against Newcastle, and I believe like we did on the simulated Ipswich game. And it's Fraser Campbell that's got the goal, and I know as soon as my two defenders got in each other's way that there might be trouble, but Fraser Campbell apparently having a great season according to the commentators. I'm not so sure about that since it's his first goal of the season, but he's got his goal now, and with Villa winning, this is suddenly looking a bit like a crisis on our hands, when it looked relatively comfortable at the start, and when we got a goal, obviously. We can't afford to go and lose it now, though.
Well, they're still battling to try and get their search for supremacy successful. Possession facts.
That's not a bad ball into Chamak either. Good tackle from Trippier. Back to the goalkeeper Heaton, who whacks it forward up to Sordell, wins it in the air superbly. And now here's a chance for Jutskovic to attack the defence, and he's done very, very well with his feet. In fact, he's done incredibly well, and he's tried to find Sordell across, but he's getting slightly blocked by Hangeland by the looks of it, and nothing really came of it in the end. Bannon's on for punching. Would be nice to win this, really. Chalobah wins it in the air, well played by him, and Sordell got slightly blocked by Jednak there. Maybe we shouldn't have brought Jerome off, maybe we should have kept him on. I mean, I don't know how fresh he would have been, but I mean, Norwich will probably have rotated their strikers over the season. I mean, Sordell is obviously very, very fresh as well, though. Man United winning 3-1. They're not doing very well this season. That's a good ball. It's QPR that's also in the relegation zone, so they're not really making any inroads on us. Here comes Chalobah, though. Sordell plays it into Chalobah. Great ball into Kitely. This is nice football, probably the best we've had all game. That's not a bad ball in Isa. Jutskovic couldn't get the shot on target. Didn't go corner either. Wilfried Zaha is on. He's probably one of my targets as well, but I think he's on loan as well, so I mean, might be quite difficult to get him. I might try and bring Zuma in if I have enough. Well, especially with our central defence issue now. I mean, Michael Keane, I forgot to mention, was actually out for 2 months. So we do have quite big problems there. As Zaha is trying to make an instant impact here, and he's gone for the shot, and that would have been spectacular if he'd gone and put it in there. But anyway, we've got the counter-attack on now. Zaha's trying to get back, though. Needs to kind of bring him out of the play. Here's Bentaleb, Jutskovic, Kitely. A lot of players behind the ball. Bentaleb tried to flick it through, couldn't quite, though. I think Crystal Palace are trying to get the draw now. I mean, if I were them, I'd probably be trying to do it as well, to be honest. Oh dear, that's a poor pass. That's not where I wanted to go at all. I just completely messed up on the analog stick. And yeah, it's been a bit of a frustrating game like that, really. That's a bit of a loose pass, which again we couldn't quite capitalise on. Interesting passing there from Crystal Palace, which has actually just about worked for them. Good clearance there, and Sordell wins it in the air, and he's found Jutskovic. And it's come to Sordell now, who's got a bit of room, and he's pulled away. Sordell, good save. That might have been the chance to win it. Here's Shackle anyway, we've still got a chance. Sordell out wide to Arfield, who can whip them in when he wants to. It's not a bad ball either. Jutskovic couldn't get his head on it. Hoofed away. Headed back to Bentaleb. Sordell's got a bit of room. Bentaleb, poor pass by Sordell, and that's full time. It's a bit of a disappointing result, really, to be honest. Boos around the stadium, not really too surprising. I don't know why FIFA does that, really. I mean, it's not a great result, but Villa did win. QPR lost, so we have lost a bit of ground, which is a bit sad, as Ipswich is our next game as well. Quick look at the league here, if possible. So yeah, as you can see, 3 points between us and Aston Villa now, but 3 points between us and Sunderland, so the next league game will probably be quite crucial, I would think. Crystal Palace really looking in trouble, though. Anyway, that is that. Ipswich is the next game. Hopefully we can just seal the deal in that game relatively easily in the next episode, in the round 3 replay. But until next time, thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye. Don't know why I just said that twice, but anyway, goodbye.